Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Tonight on Primetime, a handful of shopping centers opening today, but with the governor urging people to stay home, the question is whether anyone will actually go out and shop.
Plus, teachers in Gwinnett County told to come back into work. We are taking their safety concerns straight to the district.
And they have won the fight against COVID-19. Now they're inspiring and encouraging us all. We're sharing their stories of recovery.
On this Friday night, we begin with deeper cuts to Georgia's budget as the state deals with the cost of COVID-19. The state departments have been told to cut spending by 14%, impacting programs like education and health care. Doug Richards reports that there is no wiggle room with any of the numbers.
Because the economy is basically all but shut down, the state's tax revenues, sales taxes, and other revenues have plummeted over the last few weeks. And unlike the federal government, the state has a constitutional obligation to balance its budget, a new challenge that basically started for state workers today. The state spent almost $10 billion last year for K through 12 public education. It spent almost $2 billion to build and fix roads and bridges. Cutting those budgets by 14% promises to be painful, says former state representative Buzz Brockway.
I think it will be very daunting because I don't see any way for them to make cuts that deep without impacting programs that people care about and people need.
And that could include furloughing or laying off school teachers statewide. The state funds programs large and less large, from school and infrastructure to public safety and health care. It spends more than $1 billion a year on state prisons and much smaller sums on state parks, new driver's licenses, and state laboratories like the GBI Crime Lab. In a letter to state agencies, 3 budget writing officials wrote that while the Great Recession of 2008 was considered then to be a once-in-a-lifetime event, our current situation will certainly overshadow it. That is why this request for cuts is being made to all areas of the state budget with no exceptions.
You can't just shut down everything for 6-8 weeks and not expect things like this to start to happen.
So the state of Georgia has a rather sizable rainy day fund, which Governor Kemp has used for emergencies like recent hurricanes and even this pandemic. That fund is not likely to give budget writers a lot of wiggle room. And the question really may end up in the coming weeks is whether 14% cuts will be large enough.
WellStar is planning to resume certain elective surgeries as early as next week. Our Elwin Lopez spoke with their chief surgical officer to find out how they plan to keep patients and healthcare workers safe during the pandemic.
After months of strictly doing urgent and emergency surgeries, Dr. Bill Mayfield says Wellstar is ready to start performing elective, time-sensitive surgeries as early as next week. He says that includes things like an undiagnosed mass and symptomatic gallstones, among others, but only for patients who aren't vulnerable to COVID-19.
The population we're going to operate on in the next few weeks is the healthier population. We don't want them to be compromised should they get a COVID-19 in the community.
Dr. Mayfield says they will be testing these patients for the virus before operating, and the operations will be done at ambulatory surgery centers separate from the hospitals. And for those without those surgery centers, there will be a separate entrance to the hospital for non-COVID-19 patients.
We're using all the CDC guidelines, American Hospital Association guidelines, American College of Surgeons guidelines for, PPE, personal protection, social distancing, hand washing, wiping down surfaces between patients.
Yet Dr. Mayfield says if we do see a second wave of coronavirus cases, Wellstar is prepared to change course.
If there's another wave and we have a spike in resources and we need to redirect, we're prepared to respond very quickly.
Now, Chief Surgical Officer tells me that these time-sensitive elective procedures do not include non-urgent cosmetic surgery. Now, he says that if you're not sure whether you need surgery at this time, you can always consult with a doctor via video call.
Even as doors reopen for the first time today, many parking lots remain empty at the Georgia outlet malls. This is what the scene was like in Woodstock earlier today. And now that the shelter-in-place order has expired for most Georgians, some stores are eager to open. They're trying to get out of the red after the pandemic caused retail sales to plummet and inventory to stack up. But there are some obstacles here. The governor is still asking people to stay home as much as possible. And many shoppers we spoke with found a lot of the stores still aren't open.
Felt pretty good. We were excited to come out here and do a little bit of shopping and whatnot, but there's only about 3 stores open. A couple only let 3 people in at a time. Nothing really of our interest. We want to go to the Nike store and it wasn't open, so we just did a little walk, got some exercise.
Lenox Square and 4 other Georgia shopping centers owned by the Simon Property Group were supposed to reopen today, but that was pushed back at the last moment. Now they're set to reopen on Monday. To keep shoppers safe, Simon is screening workers, contractors, and vendors for symptoms. They're offering masks and limiting the number of people allowed inside.
Here is why some people still have great concerns about businesses reopening. More than 27,000 people in Georgia have tested positive. 1,165 have died. And you have asked us many questions about the numbers that we are reporting from the state, asking us to help to explain what they really show. So tonight, Joe Hankey is doing exactly that.
After watching our newscast, viewer John Brannion sent our newsroom an email, and he said saying deaths and reported cases went up 20+% last week is meaningless. Would be good to show that around 90% of deaths are over the age of 65. Nearly all under 65 had underlying conditions. John, those are all good points, so here's what the numbers show today. As cases and deaths keep rising, older Georgians are dying more frequently, as John said, from COVID-19. The average age amongst COVID-19 deaths, 73. 75% of all people dying are 65 plus. The oldest person to die, a 106-year-old man in Mitchell County. So why are older Georgians being hit harder?
Older patients sometimes don't present the way, we expect or what we find other COVID-19 patients may present.
Northside Cherokee Hospital's Dr. Nokatula Samanga specializes in geriatric medicine. She says the CDC's original list of symptoms included fever, cough, and shortness of breath. The CDC recently added 6 more symptoms seen here, but Samanga says elderly patients might show none of these.
Sometimes what we normally see is what is called apathy. Basically disinterest or not being engaged. We may actually see them, basically increasing confusion. We may see weakness. We may actually see them, just stop eating or not eating as much.
And Dr. Samanga says dizzy spells, falling, and even unconsciousness can then follow. Doctors then have to investigate to see what is happening. And as John mentioned, underlying conditions can complicate all of that. Nearly 2/3 of older people dying had an underlying condition. About the same percent of people under 65 also had an underlying condition, as John said. Dr. Samanga says that underlying condition lowers someone's chances of fighting an infection.
So therefore, because they already have end organ disease or end organ damage, having the now disease process, basically increases their risk of decline from other illnesses and other organs as well.
Even with the shelter-in-place order lifted for most Georgians, students still aren't heading back to the classrooms. Every district still continues to do digital learning right now, but the state's biggest district is calling teachers back. On our Facebook page, Shannon is among those questioning Gwinnett County's decision, calling the move ridiculous and saying it's putting teachers' lives in jeopardy. 11Alive's Latasha Gibbons reached out to the district for an explanation.
This is not a decision that we've taken lightly.
Gwinnett County School spokesperson Sloan Roach answered questions about the plan to have remaining staff and teachers return to school sites the week of May 18th.
In Gwinnett, our students left on a Thursday in March because Friday was a holiday, and they expected to come back on Monday, and that never happened.
Roach says there's no way the district can collect school equipment at the end of the year students are using right now for digital learning without the teachers' help. She says teachers also need to clear out their classrooms after abruptly leaving mid-March.
We have a lot of students who have personal belongings at the schools.
All 12,000 teachers are expected to report to school for the last week of the semester.
Teachers will wrap up instruction, help students who are needing to make up any work, and so that way they can also finalize grades and then really work to close out their classrooms.
Roach says the district will limit how many people are in the building and in small areas, with workers still keeping 6 feet apart.
Every employee who's returning to work will be given a mask. Schools will have processes in place to limit how many people are coming at one time. And
hundreds of thousands of people around the world have survived COVID-19. The time they spent fighting the virus is a defining moment in their lives. Here's Matt Pearl sharing some stories tonight.
We represent people that have a story to tell. My name is David Jameson.
My name is Amanda Trejo.
Marissa Liuzzi.
Scott Schuback.
And I am a recovered COVID-19 patient.
I was a patient in an intensive care unit. I've just recovered.
Out of the 12, there was about 8 of us that were affected.
I'm still having issues. I'm still having issues sleeping, still having issues with anxiety.
When I walk up the stairs from the parking lot to the entrance and I'm carrying a briefcase or some papers, I have to slow down.
We've been just really trying to just stay away from everyone and only leaving the house to give plasma.
My aunt was positive for COVID-19 and was admitted to the ICU. I went and donated my plasma. Within about the next 11 days, she was able to come off the ventilator.
Everything that we can do to possibly help save a life is something that people need to start really looking into.
I truly believe that maybe I got COVID-19 so I could save not only my aunt, but a stranger as well.
This situation has taught me that we should never, ever take anything for granted.
For whatever reason I'm here, it is upon me to become a better person. As a physician, a father, a husband, that is upon me to become better.
I think this is a trying time.
We have a happy ending, fortunately for us.
It would be a waste for a person to go through something and not inspire someone else who's going through the same thing.
Next on Primetime, a 4th of July tradition moved to Thanksgiving. The Atlanta Track Club announcing today the AJC Peachtree Road Race will be celebrated with a side of turkey. We're going to hear from the race director about the decision.
Don't forget, we are streaming all 3 hours of Primetime on the 11Alive YouTube channel. Subscribe, join the conversation in the community section. We have a lot more 11Alive news in Primetime right after the break.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information,
big changes coming for the AJC Peachtree Road Race this year. We broke the news this morning that the Atlanta Track Club has postponed this year's race to Thanksgiving Day because of COVID-19. All 50 runnings of the road race have been on the 4th of July, but that's about to change. Alex Glaze explains the historical significance of this year's race being moved in November and what the Atlanta Track Club has in store for you.
Welcome to the ATL! For half a century, the 4th of July in Atlanta has meant one thing, the AJC Peachtree Road Race. But because of the outbreak of COVID-19, this year's 51st running will be pushed back.
Ultimately, we decided we did not want to give up on the Peachtree in 2020, so we looked at alternative dates, and we landed on Thanksgiving Day.
Same 10 kilometers from Lenox up Cardiac Hill to Piedmont Park, just with a few more turkey legs and cornucopias.
Maybe a little known fact, the 4th of July is the second most popular day to run a road race in the United States. The first most popular day is Thanksgiving Day.
The Atlanta Track Club, which puts on the race, realized keeping everyone safe and healthy on Independence Day was too much of a challenge this year.
The concept of changing the date, it was foreign to us. It was something we had never considered. So it's something that weighed heavily on us. Thanksgiving is another holiday. It's another day where community comes together.
All 45,000 runners who are already registered are automatically in for Thanksgiving Day, and another round of registration will open up in the fall. But if crowds aren't your thing, there's another option.
To participate virtually, what do we mean by that? You're going out, you're running it in your neighborhood, and then we will mail you your shirt after the fact.
Got a lit situation to get those legs moving. The Track Club believes looking forward to the world's largest 10K is exactly what everyone needs.
In this world in which we're living today, I think a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, the start line to the finish line, is something that everybody can look forward to.
Well, how'd you like that cooler air out there this morning? We started off with temperatures in the 40s, but the warmer air started moving back in. As that cooler air started moving back to the north, it was replaced by some of the warmer air coming in here. Now today, we topped off at 75 degrees, just 1 degree below average this afternoon, a lot warmer than it was yesterday when we were in the 60s. And so now that that cold air has moved out, the warm air is going to settle in, and we're going to warm up even more tomorrow. High temperatures, that'll be in the lower 80s. And then as we continue here into the weekend on Sunday, how about mid 80s? So feeling really nice. And that's even with morning temperatures that'll be comfortable, you know, not frigid or anything, but just kind of comfortably cool in those mornings, and then warming up very quickly in the afternoon. And this warmer air sticks with us through Monday and Tuesday in the mid 80s. And then by the middle and end of the week, the cooler air, starts to come back in here, and we'll go back into the 70s once we get toward the end of the week. So here's what we're watching as we go through the evening hours tonight. Things looking good. We'll see temperatures falling quickly We'll be in the 60s by 9, 10 o'clock, 50s at midnight, and then those lower 50s here once we get into tomorrow morning. So here's a look at your forecast for the day on Saturday. A 10 on the Odometer. That's our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. 53 for a low, 81 degrees for a high temperature. And here's what we're going to be watching with the flyover forecast. A beautiful clear sky as the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds are going to be flying over the city of Atlanta. Temperatures between 1:30 and 2 o'clock will be around 77 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, just perfect visibility for that flyover as it comes by. Now look what happens tonight. Nice conditions here, mainly clear skies. In the morning, a cool start. Then we warm up once we get into the afternoon with that southerly flow. We get up into the 80s, 81 degrees for a high temperature, and then warming even more going into Sunday. Comfortable morning, but then in the afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds, we'll see those temperatures getting into the mid-80s, and then the mid-80s are going to continue into next week with mainly dry weather Monday. We're going with just a really low rain chance Monday evening or Monday late in the day in North Georgia. It's on Tuesday when we'll see a little better chance for a few scattered showers to move through. Then that system moves out. Wednesday, only about a 20% chance for a shower. So here's what we're watching with that 7-day outlook. 81 for a high Saturday, 84 Sunday, and then holding in the mid-80s Monday and Tuesday. However, we'll see a little more moisture building back in with a 20% chance for a shower Monday, 30% chance on Tuesday, and I'm sure we're going to be fine-tuning those percentages as we get closer to next week. Temperature still in the mid-80s though, and then a little cooler Wednesday as we see that rain chance come down to 20%, and then on Thursday and Friday, we cool back down with lows in the lower 50s and afternoon highs that will move up only into the lower 70s.
Make sure you look up to the sky Saturday afternoon. You just heard Chris mentioning this. The Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds are going to be honoring our COVID-19 first responders and essential workers with a flyover here in Atlanta. It's all set to start at 1:35 tomorrow afternoon. It'll last about 25 minutes. You can find the flight path and our story right now on 11alive.com.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory disease.
According to the Treasury Department, nearly 90 million Americans have now received their stimulus checks, and more expected next week. It's nearly $160 billion that has gone out so far, but Is it enough to keep American families afloat? NBC's Kate Snow is finding out for us tonight.
Across much of the country, closed for business signs remain on largely empty streets. Lines at food banks are getting longer as family budgets are shrinking. And that stimulus money?
It's already gone. Absolutely, on necessities.
We checked in with families in Iowa, Colorado, and California, and like many across America, they're facing the same dilemma: how to best use the stimulus check in the face of an uncertain future. And while rents vary wildly around the nation, according to 2018 statistics, the median monthly rent in the U.S. was nearly $1,100, and for a two-parent, two-child household, food could cost over $1,000 a month.
I am appreciative for whatever, because it makes a difference. However, since my kids are home, and mind you, I have 4 kids, that means that we're eating much more food. We're using electricity all day long.
So
we
the
have
bills
to have
are high.
Wi-Fi. Exactly. The bills are getting higher.
Joy Stallworth used to juggle 3 jobs. Bartending for events and supervising at a casino went away. The only income now from occasional work as a home health care aide. In Los Angeles, her rent alone is higher than the $2,200 check she got. She's put off paying rent for now and used the stimulus check to pay bills and buy groceries.
You have to be very strategic, and you have to be a wise steward over your finances. Okay, I'll take care of this today, and I'll deal with that today, and then I'll wait till tomorrow for that.
Near Denver, Julie Hughes spends $1,200 a month on groceries for her family of 6.
You got over $4,000?
Yeah, got $4,400. Is that spent yet? Most of it is spent paying the bills that we hadn't paid. And then groceries.
Spring is usually Julie's busiest time of year, running health workshops for teens and parents. Her husband, Gavin, is a massage therapist.
All of my workshops had to be canceled. And then my husband, his job got immediately canceled as well. And then all of our 4 kids were all at home together now.
And it's the uncertainty that worries her most.
I would hope that the government would respond with just, here's a set amount of money that you get monthly, that you can count on, that you can budget for.
In Iowa, Randy and Jane Brown's entire check for $2,400 went towards their mortgage and health insurance premium, essential since Randy just had open heart surgery in January and last summer stopped working as a trucker because of a shoulder injury. Jane's job doing hair and nails went away with coronavirus.
We're dipping into our retirement long before we ever plan to survive.
All 3 families we spoke with say they're appreciating the blessings they do have.
Somebody donated $500 and as just a gift to us. We were both ecstatic and crying that day. I feel teary just even saying it.
I've been able to spend that time with my kids, and they were needing it, and I was needing it.
But the financial stress grows by the day.
Even when people begin to go back to work, there is no guarantee that the jobs that I had are going to open back up.
As much as you're counting your blessings, I wonder if do you wish the government would do a little more?
Yes, especially just for the common folks, the people that are out on the lines and people like us that are in quarantine.
Well, even though states may be opening up, that doesn't guarantee individuals will get their jobs back. So unless the government approves a second round of stimulus payments, this money may be the only income that many people have for quite some time.
The virus is forcing numerous court cases to be suspended or postponed, but one county is making headlines because they still are summoning jurors. We will tell you why next on Primetime.
Workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during Primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. on 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation.
Joined right now by the moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd is with us. Chuck, it seems as though every Friday when we talk, the pandemic takes on a different sort of lilt. When it first began, it was purely medical and scientific, but as we now sit on the first day of May, it is incredibly polarized politically, and every definition of the pandemic, at least that comes through the filter of what we do, seemingly, is through politics.
You're right, and I do think we're getting to that space for a little while, but I'll be honest with you, I do think both the virus and the impact the virus has had in the economy is going to sort of shove these sort of political debates aside, even though we're having them right now. I mean, I think we haven't fully appreciated the economic calamity that is to come. I think we're still sort of unpacking that. And I think as that grows, I mean, you're right, like we've gone from the health crisis to now it's sort of a political debate of how to reopen and how to balance this. But I think we're about a month away from a much bigger, which will also take on obviously huge political overtones, but it will be a larger fight about how to rescue this economy.
Do you think
because
Washington?
I think I truly believe that people haven't put their arms around about what's coming in the months ahead.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you think Washington has come to grips with what we are looking at financially? It seems as though we still talk in rather roundabout ways about how the economy will be impacted by all of this.
Jeff, I have to tell you, it feels like everybody, and we've said this before, it doesn't feel like Washington's met the moment, and I say this, I'm not trying to play left, right politics, any of it. I think they're viewing it, I feel like they're all going through the same playbooks of right after 9/11 and right after the Great Recession, and they think we'll have this program, and we'll have this industry and that, and I don't think they've just fully come to grips with just how thorough this economic downturn is. It isn't going to be just here and just there. We're talking about aid to states. You know, we haven't even brought up, this whole oil debacle.
Right.
You know very well how much of the state revenues are paid for by oil in Louisiana and Oklahoma and Texas. So we're sitting here having a debate about the blue states and their money that they need bailing out. Just wait till in about 3 months all these red states that use oil revenue to fund their programs realize, well, where is it? So I think we just haven't fully wrapped our arms around the financial cost of this pandemic.
You know, here in Atlanta today, the Atlanta Track Club has announced that the Peachtree Road Race, which is 60,000 people that run through the streets on the 4th of July, will be held on Thanksgiving. You've got Augusta and the Masters, which is coming up late in the fall as well. I think it's hard to conceptualize that these events will still be able to be held later in the fall, given what we know now about this virus and the fact that we are not any further along than where we were 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Not on the medical front. I mean, you know, without a reliable therapeutic, right? One that makes people feel as if it means if I get it and I take this therapeutic, I can survive, or a more reliable testing infrastructure. It does feel as if until there's a vaccine, I don't know how we normalize any of these events per se. So I think you have a lot of hopefulness out there. I think you have people hoping they can have the Masters when they have it, hoping that these, you know, assuming that the more time you buy, the more opportunity there is for a therapeutic to work.
Yeah. Chuck Todd, as always, thanks. We appreciate it. We will see you 10 a.m. right here on 11Alive on Sunday. Meet the Press. Thanks.
Georgia's Supreme Court issued an order suspending most court hearings and jury trials until mid-May due to the coronavirus. But one county is still sending letters summoning potential grand jurors. Reveal investigator Andy Parati explains why.
When public duty calls, Allison Sun says she's typically ready to serve.
First, because I get called for jury duty all the time.
But when she got this letter in the mail from DeKalb County summoning her as a potential grand juror next week in the middle of a pandemic, it stopped her in her tracks.
Having done jury duty before, I know the facility, and I feel like there isn't a way to safely social distance when you're sitting with all those people waiting for them to decide who they're going to pick.
She and her husband have multiple underlying health conditions, including a history of respiratory diseases.
So right off the bat, the minute you tell me there's a virus that involves respiratory issues, I have a concern.
The county's letter requests her appearance this Tuesday, even though the state Supreme Court suspended all juries about a month ago. So why did Sun and others get a letter? According to the court administrator, summons for the May-June grand jury term needed to be mailed for proper notification, and that individuals can call the night before to determine whether they're needed. Still, Sun is concerned.
I can't be expected to go into a venue where I have no idea what precautions they've taken.
DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston says when the court does resume grand juries, they'll be ready.
Anyone that has to be a part of our process, we are going to make sure that they are safe, the people around them are safe, and that the community is safe.
That includes providing jurors with face masks and possibly moving to a location to ensure 6-foot social distancing.
So what I would say is, first and foremost, the safety of the public and following the CDC guidelines is the #1 driver on what we're doing.
The state order suspending all juries in the state expires May 13th, but district attorneys tell me they anticipate it will be extended. Until then, no one will be serving on juries in Georgia, nor will the accused have their day in court.
A place normally reserved for tailgates and celebration is now a site for coronavirus testing. This after actor Sean Penn's organization CORE teamed up with the Arthur Blank Foundation.
The volunteers here in Atlanta are a really promising, exciting group of willful, motivated, smart people.
Or those in at-risk groups like the elderly can go get a free test at the Home Depot backyard.
It's all hands on deck for the hotspots in our state. That's what Insurance Commissioner John King said today. He toured the poultry farms in Gainesville where there has been an outbreak of COVID-19. Mr. King updated Senator Kelly Loeffler about it this morning. He says the spike in cases in the Hispanic community there is alarming.
Went up to North Georgia, had a good conversation, not only with the management, but also with the workers in their native language. We're now in a phase in the state that we can now put all the resources of the state and in the local resources to go after hotspots. Gainesville now with the Hispanic community there. They got PPE, they're testing, the facilities are very clean. Then what we have to now is how do we craft our communication strategies? Not only for the workers in the workplace, but how do we take those lessons home so they can also be protected when they're home?
So in many plants, employees work very close together on the line so they can be at risk. Commissioner Gary Black says the plants are now doing testing for all the workers in Hall County and says that everybody in the plants are wearing gloves and masks. Commissioner King also talked about help for people who can no longer afford insurance. He said insurance companies have agreed not to cancel any policies until May 31st, and the state will again look at that, possibly extending the date.
Today, Smyrna officer Christopher Ewing's family and friends gather at Truist Park to honor his life. Officer Ewing was killed by a DUI driver on April 20th. He was just 34 years old. Officer Christopher Ewing referred to Smyrna as his community, and even after serving in the Air Force, he wanted to come home to help protect people. Smyrna's police chief says Officer Ewing took pride in being a native of Smyrna and graduate of Osborne High School. He says Officer Ewing made friends fast after joining the department less than 2 years ago, and other officers say he was like a big brother. He liked to have fun and cut up, but was also empathetic.
One officer stated Chris asked how she was doing when her father was sick and dying of cancer. She thought, I hardly know you, but you're asking me how I'm doing. Another officer stated Chris's drive would influence others to work harder. I've heard the words phenomenal, motivational, and inspiring. He loved this job and he policed with his heart, not his badge.
Officer Ewing's daughter says he was a girl dad. His 3 daughters could always count on him. And even though his loved ones had to follow certain restrictions at his funeral, like sitting 2 seats apart, you could see the love they all shared for him. You can watch the full funeral service and hear remarks from Officer Ewing's family and fellow officers on our 11Alive YouTube page.
A student at the top of her class won't get to take the stage as valedictorian at her graduation, one of the extraordinary accomplishments of this young girl's life. Soon to be a young woman, and so her friends and family gather together to make sure her achievement does not go without celebration. It's a story that you'll want to see coming up next on Primetime.
Live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more.
For students graduating from high school this year, they will not have the opportunity to get together with their classmates, their families, their friends, their community. And for those at the top of the class who have achieved so much through great hard work, through talent, through ability, they will not get the public honor that they deserve either. Stockbridge High School wanted to make sure to acknowledge their academic overachievers. Here is a story from Caitlin Ross.
Madison Gordon didn't get to cross the stage as valedictorian, but the walk across her driveway was just as meaningful.
I just started crying. I was so happy. It feels really good to know that all the time I put into even get valedictorian really paid off in me actually obtaining the title now.
She knew she was in the running, but she didn't know until this moment, when her principal, teachers, counselors, and family came to surprise her that she had earned the top spot.
Top academic student of Stockbridge High School.
She said it's been hard to be away from school and her friends, missing those last few weeks of togetherness.
It was pretty sad. It was really sad because I was sad about graduation, prom. I was worried if they would get canceled, and I was gonna miss senior moments that should last with me forever. But this really makes up a lot of it. Like, it really makes me proud and happy.
Even if it wasn't the traditional pomp and circumstance, it's a memory she will cherish forever.
I can't believe this is real. I was so overwhelmed with emotion.
And she worked hard to get here. To earn the top spot at Stockbridge High School, she carried a 4.5 GPA heading into graduation.
She's going to always remember this. So what's next for Madison after she's accomplished so much already?
She'll be heading to FAMU with a full scholarship in the fall. And although that's just across state lines, at 6, we'll hear how people across the country are supporting her.
I love it.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers, and this is a really nice looking map here, because when you see the purples and blues on this map, that's indicating very dry air, and that's exactly what we have out there tonight, and that's exactly what we're going to have out there as we go through the rest of the weekend. As on Saturday, still plenty of dry air in place. Sunday, plenty of dry air in place, and then as we get into Monday, we're going to see a little more moisture building in. This may not all translate into rain chances for us. I think up in North Georgia we'll have a little better chance for a couple of showers. It's on Tuesday when we see our rain chance coming up a little bit more with some of this moisture that's building in. And it looks like that's going to exit and move out of here on Wednesday. And then we dry out again by the end of next week. And we also cool off by the end of next week too. We're going to watch these temperatures kind of going up and down over the next few days here and into next week. Hey, look at the pollen count today. We're back up into the triple digits at 122. The main pollens present are oak, hickory, mulberry, and sycamore. Grasses are moderate, no issues with weeds right now, and the mold is still back up into the high range as well. And look at the trends this week. You know, we started on Tuesday with a 130, and then we went down to 96. On Thursday, after the rain and cool air, it went down to 35. But then today, we're back up to 122. And so at least we're not dealing with those pollen counts that are in the thousands. I think we've already gone past our peak, but now we just deal with some of those nuisance pollens out there. Look at the day tomorrow. Starting off in the 50s, and then by 9, we're in the 60s, and we're going to warm up really quickly. If you go out in the morning hours, you're really going to feel that warm up happening really hour by hour. 70 degrees by 11 o'clock, 75 by 1. Topping off in the lower 80s, we're going to have plenty of sunshine during the day. It is going to be really a beautiful day out there. So here's what we're watching with our weather headlines. Not only a beautiful day on Saturday, but a beautiful weekend with those temperatures really warming up. We'll be in the mid 80s by Sunday, and then we'll be watching some of that moisture moving in, and that will translate to some showers pushing in for next week. So really close to an 11 on the Odometer here for Saturday. The only reason I went with a 10 is just because that temperature of 81 a little bit above the average. And we'll see mostly sunny skies, beautiful blue sky, great visibility. It's going to be looking really, really good out there. So here's a look tonight going through the evening hours. Not much weather, a form of weather features on the maps here. Mostly sunny skies during the day Saturday, lower 80s. There's that southerly flow. And then that continues into Sunday as well. And that's why we're going to see those temperatures with mostly sunny skies Sunday getting back into the mid 80s there. So here's the 7-day outlook. 81 Saturday, 84 Sunday, holding in the mid 80s Monday and Tuesday with a 20% chance for a shower Monday, 30% chance on Tuesday, and we'll be fine-tuning those rain chances over the next few days. Rain chance diminishing Wednesday, but then look what happens after this system moves through. Some cooler air rolls our way, and we'll see those high temperatures going back to the lower 70s by Thursday and Friday, still with that mixture of sunshine and clouds.
As the coronavirus spreads, doctors are discovering its impact on children and how it's differing. How you can ensure your child stays healthy, next on Primetime.
Where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
COVID-19 impacts kids in different ways. A new study aims to find out why and to discover what causes some children to have more serious and even deadly outcomes. There's a nationwide research project happening on this. Dr. Adrian Randolph, a physician at Boston Children's Hospital, is leading the effort. The goal is to enroll 800 children and young adults through the age of 25. Doctors will monitor how their immune systems react to the virus. Ultimately, COVID-19 remains uncommon in children. So far, 2% of kids nationwide have tested positive, and only a handful of coronavirus-related pediatric deaths have been reported in the U.S. Now, as many Georgians begin to ease back into their regular routines, many questions are popping up about what this means for your kids. So we took the questions to Dr. Natalie Lane, who's the medical director for the Children's Hospital of Georgia Emergency Department. The first question, should you bring kids out in public right now, and what safety precautions can you take if you do bring them out?
If children don't necessarily have to go out, it's probably a better idea not to have them go out. If you do go out, second in line really is to try to wear a mask. The child is willing to wear the mask and to be able to leave it on safely, that they might be able to accompany you, but that doesn't negate the fact that oftentimes those small children end up touching things as well. Everywhere they go, they want to reach out and touch things, lift things. So you still have that risk of exposure just by the tactile nature of children wanting to check things out.
We also asked Dr. Lane if it's safe to start easing back into seeing close friends and family once again. Here's what she had to say on that.
I think it's okay in small groups to start being more social, but I think I would just make sure that the child is the child that your child wants to come in contact with, or other friends or family members that you're coming in contact with. Just make sure that they do not appear to have any fever, cough, or any nose illnesses in the last 2 weeks prior to y'all getting together.
And lastly, Dr. Lane added one final note on the importance of parents' mental health and how that can help keep kids safe as well.
The longer parents, adults are under stress, it becomes much more stressful to manage small children or even school-age children in close environments where tempers can flare and patients can get out of hand. And we are seeing an increased risk for child abuse in these settings. So allowing some leeway for children to get some exercise, get outside, for the social interaction with friends and close family in small amounts is probably good for the greater good.
Dr. Lane also spoke with us about her stance on taking your kids out to the playground. We have that full interview available right now on 11alive.com.
Thanks for sharing the positive stories you see that you see with us, and we want to see what's happening in Hall County right now. Members of the Gainesville First United Methodist Church are donating supplies to families in need. The buckets of love include soap and cleaning products, paper products, and more. The supplies, as well as meals, will be distributed to more than 150 families across Hall County. Be sure to let us know the good things you're seeing around you, and you can even send us the videos that you're shooting on your iPhone or whatever phone you may have. Just use the hashtag #SendTheLoveATL.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands.
A viral image shows that wearing a mask reduces your chance of getting a virus by 30%, and if that everyone's wearing a mask, it can reduce your chances by 98%. Well, you asked if that's true, and we had our Verify team investigate. Here's Jason Puckett.
This viral image is showing up a lot in multiple forms, but they all have the same message. They show 3 situations and how likely you are to get sick depending on who wears a mask. If you wear one, your chances are lowered to 70%. If a sick person wears one, your chances are down to 5%. And if both people wear them, your chances of getting sick are down to 1.5%. So we're verifying. Are those numbers accurate? Our main source, the CDC. The short answer, the numbers aren't accurate, but the idea behind them is. In a statement, the CDC said they can't confirm these numbers, and they don't actually have a real number for how effective cloth masks are. There's just not enough research yet. The only number close to the image was a CDC publication about N95 medical masks. They estimate those filter out about 95% of particles that people breathe out. But the CDC and others are still urging people not to buy those masks as they're needed by medical professionals. So the numbers aren't real, and they give a skewed idea of how effective cloth masks are without any real evidence. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't wear a mask. The image does get one thing right, that masks protect other people. The CDC says cloth masks are, quote, not intended to protect the wearer, but may prevent the spread of the virus from the wearer to others. And that's why they recommend everyone wears them. So we can verify. The numbers in the image aren't accurate, but the idea that masks lower the chances of getting sick is true, especially when they're worn by people who are sick. Got any other claims for us to look into? Send us an email.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Next on Primetime, cutting deeper, why things could get worse for Georgia's struggling schools already feeling the economic pinch. A new weapon in the fight against COVID-19 gets emergency approval, why this could be a game changer for some of the sickest patients. And a happy surprise for one local high school senior receiving shows of support from all over the country. We begin tonight by taking a closer look at the meaning behind some of the numbers you've been seeing almost every day. More than 27,000 confirmed cases and more than 1,100 deaths. Those are the latest totals for COVID-19 in Georgia. But what does that indicate about where Georgia stands right now? We've heard from a lot of you asking us to explain. So tonight, Joe Henke is answering your questions.
The number of COVID-19 cases and deaths continue to increase, and this is leading to people naturally questioning the numbers and wanting to know more. On our Facebook page, Tashia Brooks wrote, "We need to start seeing the recovery numbers. The fact we do not get to see those is wrong. It's been since March and no one has posted those. Seems very controlling if you ask me." Unfortunately, the number of people who have recovered is a number we don't have, and the state does not have either. When people recover, they aren't required to let their doctor know. Many people will get the virus but never be hospitalized, so their recovery won't be documented. And medical privacy laws like HIPAA prevent hospitals or medical groups from releasing the information. That's not even a fraction of what's really going on, Chuck Murray wrote. It's a common comment we are hearing, and to an extent, yes, the numbers the state releases and we report daily do not show the full picture of COVID-19. Experts we have talked with say as much as 25% of people are asymptomatic, and most early testing only tested people with symptoms. Also, the data released through the Georgia Department of Public Health's website comes with an important asterisk stating the data may be incomplete due to the lag in time between when the case was tested and or reported to the Georgia Department of Public Health. The health department routinely has updated cases or previous dates after the fact as more information trickles in from Georgia's 159 counties.
You know, there is talk tonight of furloughing our teachers here in Georgia. The state is now ordering all the departments and agencies to cut their expenses by 14%, no exceptions, and it's all because of COVID-19 and the strain that is placing on our economy. 11Alive's Doug Richards explains the impact.
There was a lot of hand-wringing here at the Capitol earlier this year when Governor Kemp asked state agencies to come up with 4% budget cuts. Those were the good old days. Now the target is 14%. The pain is expected to hit hard in public schools. The state spent almost $10 billion on K-12 schools last year. The biggest budget item for schools is school teachers, who could face furloughs or layoffs. But the cuts will be far-reaching. It will likely mean fewer new roads and bridges, slower fixes for infrastructure. The state also spends more than $3 billion a year on health care, not to mention popular programs like state parks and public safety. Former state rep Buzz Brockway thinks 14% cuts will be painful.
I think it will be very daunting because I don't see any way for them to make cuts that deep without impacting programs that people care about and people need.
And the cuts will also include safety net programs like food stamps or SNAP, programs that will get more use the worse the economy gets.
The Gwinnett County School District wants its teachers back in the classroom for the last week of school, and some teachers out there are not happy about it at all. So this is what we know. The teachers will return to school on Monday, May 18th, and they're expected to wrap up instruction, verify grades, and close out classrooms. Some teachers are upset because the district notice says that if you cannot come in due to health concerns or child care issues, that you have to apply for leave under the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. But the district says individual principals will work with you on that.
The FDA has granted emergency approval for the use of the drug remdesivir as a coronavirus treatment. Emory University played a major role in clinical trials. It's been shown to cut down recovery time for COVID-19 patients, the first drug with such promise against the virus. The maker, Gilead Sciences, is ramping up production and has agreed to donate 1 million vials to hospitals starting Monday. What happens next? That is a constant question and one of the most difficult to answer. It depends. It depends on the results over time. Now that most businesses are back open and people are out more, we asked Governor Kemp about the next steps for the state.
You know, everybody's got their eyes on the fall. Once we kind of get through where we are now here, hopefully the next 2 or 3 weeks, next month or so, move into a different phase. You know, we also got to prepare for a rebound this fall if the virus comes back. You know, who knows what that's going to look like? Who knows if we won't have, you know, medical treatments available then? There's some promising things out there. Potentially a vaccine. You know, I'm not the expert on that. There's a lot of really smart people working on that issue, and I certainly hope and pray that they're successful. But a lot of the things that we're doing, we stood up to be in place for a long time. We knew this wouldn't be over in June. It may be calmed down in June, and life may go back to a relatively normal format. With certainly a new world order from social distancing and things of that nature. But we also know that we got to prepare for this to come back in the fall and continue to do that, quite honestly, until there is a vaccine or some sort of medical treatment.
Governor Kemp says the state built up the medical resources it needed during the shelter in place to respond to as many surges in the cases that could happen.
There are hundreds of thousands of stories of hope and recovery around the globe. But specifically in the United States, according to Johns Hopkins, 100,000 people in the United States have recovered from COVID-19, and Marissa Luzzi is one of them. She got the virus after her aunt got sick and ended up in the ICU. She told 11Alive's Matt Pearl that she believes that this is part of her destiny.
I went and donated my plasma. We were an exact blood type match. Within about the next 11 days from her infusion on April 14th, she was able to come off the ventilator. They actually had some extra plasma from me and gave it to another patient in the same hospital. 9 days after the infusion, he was able to come off the ventilator too. I truly believe that maybe I got COVID-19 so I could save not only my aunt, but a stranger as well.
And she's encouraging everyone to just hold on to hope especially when it's really difficult.
We were excited to come out here and do a little bit of shopping and whatnot, but there's only about 3 stores open.
It's still like a ghost town in there.
Was it worth the trip coming out?
No.
Empty parking lots and still shuttered stores. That's what many customers found out. One of the few outlet stores that reopened today. 5 Simon properties, including Lenox Square and Town Center at Cobb, were also supposed to be open. They were supposed to open up their doors, but those plans were pushed back to Monday. And some retailers tell us that they're choosing to remain closed even longer. For a full list of reopening dates, just go to our 11Alive app. You know, tomorrow, there's going to be a huge salute in the skies. Everybody's going to be looking up, and there's a good reason that you should, because right here in Georgia, the Navy's Blue Angels and the Air Force Thunderbirds will fly over Atlanta, and among them, a Georgia pilot.
So for my team, the Thunderbirds, to fly over Atlanta, my hometown, to salute these heroes is an absolute honor, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
You know, earlier this week, the pilots showed off their precision flying skills over New York and other cities. Now they're bringing their aerial shout-out to Atlanta as part of Operation America Strong. The flyover is scheduled to begin at 1:35 tomorrow afternoon. Now, we've posted their route and the best ways to watch on 11alive.com. And you can actually hear more from Captain Nelson tonight on Up Late on our sister station on 11Alive. And Aisha's going to be bringing that story for us tonight.
She was an awesome interview. Hope you guys stick around at 11 to see it. Well, a surprise graduation honor for a deserving high school senior. Madison Gordon had no idea she earned valedictorian at Stockbridge High School until dozens of teachers, friends, and family members showed up to surprise her. We were there the moment it happened. Here's Caitlin Ross.
It means more than words can even describe. Like, my heart explodes with love for them.
Madison Gordon couldn't stop crying when she saw the outpouring of love and support for her honor.
I can't believe this is real. I was so overwhelmed with emotion because I've worked really hard for this moment.
The outstanding senior carried a 4.5 GPA and excels in athletics as well, qualifying for the Junior Olympics. Well, that competition and her graduation ceremony were canceled because of COVID-19. The virus cannot take away the pride she feels at these incredible accomplishments.
I just started crying. I was so happy. It feels really good to know that all the time I put into even get valedictorian really paid off.
Madison is set to attend FAMU in the fall with a full academic and athletic scholarship.
Way to go, Madison. All right, an important new deadline for those waiting for their stimulus money. Next on Primetime, what a VA and Social Security benefit recipient needs to know.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. Rain-free tonight, and it looks rain-free for the weekend. Nothing moving our way in the form of moisture. However, we do have warmer air moving in. We'll let you know just how high those temperatures will go for your weekend.
Thanks for sharing the love. We're going to head out to Clayton County, where heroes are honoring heroes. Today, first responders held a parade to honor healthcare professionals in Clayton County. Dozens of squad cars drove by, sirens blaring and saluting those on the front lines. First responders say it's the least they can do for the people who, day in and day out, show how they are truly Clayton strong. We are where Atlanta speaks, so we want to hear those encouraging news stories out there from your neighborhood. You can send us your videos using the hashtag #SendTheLoveATL or text them to us at the number on your screen, 404-885-7600.
Sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The Fed say nearly 90 million Americans have now received their stimulus checks, with more coming each and every week. But how far will they actually go? People who make $75,000 or less a year are getting $1,200, and married couples earning $150,000 or less will get $2,400, with an additional $500 for each child under the age of 17. Here in Atlanta, that $1,200 will not cover the average price of 1 month's rent, which is nearly $1,500. And while the amount of money people make has gone up over the past 10 years, it has not gone up as much as our expenses. And many of us are dealing with that stress, of course, because of the stimulus money. We're waiting for those checks to come in. Maybe you're dealing with unemployment benefits as well. And so we're taking your questions directly to the experts. And today we spoke to financial expert Andrew Poulos to get his perspective. Ebony sent us this question right here, folks. What if we didn't get our money for children under 17 in our stimulus payout? Andrew says, Ebony, maybe a VA or Social Security recipient who has an important new deadline. The IRS says in order to get the $500 for dependents, those receiving VA or Social Security benefits and who did not file a 2018 or 2019 tax return must give the IRS information about their dependents by May 5th. Of course, that's coming up this Tuesday. So here's Andrew's advice.
I would encourage her to go to the IRS website under non-filers, because, again, it falls into the area that IRS is now telling us by May 5th, if you have children and you haven't received a stimulus, to go on there and enter the information for your children so you can get the stimulus by direct deposit. So I would encourage her to look onto the IRS website for that to see if she might fall in that category.
So many of you also have questions about unemployment benefits. Tamara says she got her first week of benefits with no issues, but she's still approved and has not gotten the money since then.
Unemployment is a week-to-week filing. So if she's filing on her own or if she is employed and her employer is filing, that filing needs to happen each week or else unemployment will stop. So if she filed the first week, got benefits, but didn't continue filing every week subsequently, then there's probably a reason why she's not getting the direct deposit benefits each week. So she needs to look into that quickly.
So if you have any questions about stimulus payments or unemployment, you can text them directly to us. There's the number on your screen, 404-885-7600, and we will work really hard to get the answers from the experts.
Some small business owners say although they have applied for help from the federal Paycheck Protection Program, they feel like they're being left in the dark. 2 weeks ago, we introduced you to Shay Allen, the owner of a small Cobb County production company called Raging Crow. She was shut out of the first round of PPP loans after the program ran out of money. It has been more than a month after she applied for assistance, and now that the president has approved more funding, she says she is still waiting, but she's even more frustrated.
Thousands of Georgia businesses were promised things. It hasn't come through. It doesn't matter at this point who's responsible. Fix it. Somebody's got to throw us a life vest. Somebody's got to haul us up into the boat. Or at least tell us there's a boat coming, or there's not a boat coming.
And we are grateful that small business owners like Allen want to share their experiences with us. You can watch the full interviews on myeastcobbnews.com. Well, make sure you look up to the sky. Saturday afternoon, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds are going to be honoring COVID-19 first responders and essential workers with the flyover in Atlanta starting at 1:35 tomorrow afternoon. It's going to last 25 minutes. You can find the flight path in our story. Just head to 11alive.com. All right, Chris, tell us how the skies are going to look tomorrow. Everyone's going to be looking up. Hopefully it's clear.
Yeah, wear the sunglasses, though. When you're looking up into the sky, we're going to have great visibility. It's going to be really nice out there. If you're wondering why my phone is here, I'm on Facebook Live. On a Friday night, we've got between 100 and 200 people on right now. And then we're talking about the weather, talking about whether or not today was an 11 or if tomorrow should be an 11. So we're having that kind of conversation here. And a lot of folks are really excited about what you just talked about, and that is the flyover tomorrow. You just mentioned the timing of that between 1:35 and 2, going over Atlanta. We have the flight path on our website, 11alive.com. But the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds together, winds southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. And when they fly over, we're going to have clear skies. It's going to be really nice, and temperatures around 77. Now, a lot of people are saying like, wow, I'm so glad it's going to be clear. Well, that's kind of part of their plan. That's why they don't announce the flight path and exactly where they're going, or the exact flight path until 48 hours prior. They want to make sure the weather's going to be good before the flyover, because they don't want to do a flyover in clouds that nobody can see. So that is part of the plan. Great weather for this, and enjoy tomorrow if you're in one of those spots that will be able to see it. Now take a look at our weather today. You know, it was a cool start. We were just talking about that on Facebook Live, about the chilly air this morning. We did dip down into the upper 40s here in the city this morning. It just wasn't the outlying areas. The city was at 48, but look at these big jumps through the morning. From 48 at 7 to 59 at 10 to 67 at noon. Those are big jumps. And we're going to do the same thing in the morning. It's not going to be in the 40s. We'll be in the lower 50s, but we're going to have some really big jumps in the morning hours. So you'll be feeling it warming up quickly. And then we topped off today at 75 in between these hourlies here. Now we're back down into the 60s, and we're cooling down pretty quickly tonight too. Right now 67, but outside the city it's cooler. Look at Carrollton at 58. LaGrange is 58. So just know there are some spots that are cooler. We've had a few folks on Facebook Live saying, "Brr, it's just too cold out there tonight." And we will see these temperatures still dropping. 60s still at 10, 50s though at midnight, and then lower 50s, maybe even some upper 40s still here in the morning as well. So on the Odometer tomorrow, we're going with a 10. We're having this discussion on Facebook Live about whether today was really an 11 or if tomorrow should be an 11. I'm going with a 10 just because that temperature is a little bit above the average. And nothing major is moving our way. You can see the forecast track where it's dry tonight. It's going to be dry tomorrow. Maybe a couple little clouds mixing in with that sunshine, but still mostly sunny. Southerly flow, that's what's going to warm us up. We'll be in the 80s here for tomorrow, and then on Sunday even warmer into the mid-80s, still with dry conditions. So 81 Saturday, 84 Sunday, also mid-80s Monday and Tuesday, but you see those rain chances coming up a little bit. 20% Monday, 30% Tuesday, 20% on Wednesday, and then as that system exits, it will cool down again with temperatures and the afternoons going back down into the lower 70s.
Next on Primetime, a 4th of July tradition moved to Thanksgiving. The Atlanta Track Club announcing today the AJC Peachtree Road Race will be celebrated with a side of turkey. Hear from the race director on the decision.
Metro Atlanta, thank you for sharing the love and the entertainment. And so here's a unique one right here. A flamingo spotting in Fulton County, thanks to COVID-19, Paideia School seniors in Atlanta had to get creative with this year's senior prank. So the school's headmaster woke up, and this is what he found. A flock of 110 flamingos, each wearing a tassel and the name of a member of the class of 2020. The senior prank noted the flock would soon be heading west. We are Where Atlanta Speaks, so let us know the good things that are happening right there in your neighborhood. You can send us your videos using the hashtag #SendTheLoveATL or text them to us to the number on your screen, 404-885-7600.
edc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both.
Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during Primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Big changes coming for the AJC Peachtree Road Race this year. We broke the news this morning that the Atlanta Track Club has postponed this year's race to Thanksgiving Day because of the coronavirus outbreak. You know, for the past 50 years, many of you know this, is that race has gone on the 4th of July, but that is about to change, obviously. 11Alive's Alex Glaze has more on what we could see this year.
Welcome to the ATL! For half a century, the 4th of July in Atlanta has meant one thing, the AJC Peachtree Road Race. But because of the outbreak of COVID-19, this year's 51st running will be pushed back.
Ultimately, we decided we did not want to give up on the Peachtree in 2020, so we looked at alternative dates, and we landed on Thanksgiving Day.
Same 10 kilometers from Lenox up Cardiac Hill to Piedmont Park, just with a few more turkey legs and cornucopias.
Maybe a little known fact, the 4th of July is the second most popular day to run a road race in the United States. The first most popular day is Thanksgiving Day.
The Atlanta Track Club, which puts on the race, realized keeping everyone safe and healthy on Independence Day was too much of a challenge this year.
The concept of changing the date it was foreign to us. It was something we had never considered. So it's something that weighed heavily on us. Thanksgiving is another holiday. It's another day where community comes together.
All 45,000 runners who are already registered are automatically in for Thanksgiving Day, and another round of registration will open up in the fall. But if crowds aren't your thing, there's another option.
To participate virtually, what do we mean by that? You're going out, you're running it in your neighborhood, and then we will mail you your shirt after the fact.
A lit situation to get those legs moving.
The Track Club believes looking forward to the world's largest 10K is exactly what everyone needs.
In this world in which we're living today, I think a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, the start line to the finish line, is something that everybody can look forward to.
Sending love is more important now than ever. Let's go to Fulton County, where one man's fight with COVID-19 is inspiring hundreds online. Aiken Boland Rivawa was diagnosed with COVID-19 in March. He was on life support and at one point was in the ICU for more than a month, but his family was hopeful. They told 11Alive's Caitlin Ross he's an extraordinary man and strong. They were right. Aiken has recovered and today he finally went home. His family says he's excited to get back and start living with a new perspective. And to make it even better, he is home on his 66th birthday today. Happy birthday. We are so glad you are feeling better. And we are Where Atlanta Speaks, so let us know the good things you see happening around you. You can send us your videos using the hashtag #SendTheLoveATL or text them to 404-885-7600.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Joined right now by the moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd is with us. Chuck, it seems as though every Friday when we talk, the pandemic takes on a different sort of lilt. When it first began, it was purely medical and scientific, but as we now sit on the first day of May, it is incredibly polarized politically, and every definition of the pandemic, at least that comes through the filter of what we do, seemingly, is through politics.
You're right, and I do think we're getting to that space for a little while, but I'll be honest with you, I do think both the virus and the impact the virus has had in the economy is going to sort of shove these sort of political debates aside, even though we're having them right now. I mean, I think we haven't fully appreciated the economic calamity that is to come. I think we're still sort of unpacking that. And I think as that grows, I mean, you're right, like we've gone from the health crisis to now it's sort of a political debate of how to reopen and how to balance this. But I think we're about a month away from a much bigger, which will also take on obviously huge political overtones, but it will be a larger fight about how to rescue this economy.
Do you think
because
Washington?
I think I truly believe that people haven't put their arms around about what's coming in the months ahead.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you think Washington has come to grips with what we are looking at financially? It seems as though we still talk in rather roundabout ways about how the economy will be impacted by all of this.
Jeff, I have to tell you, it feels like everybody, and we've said this before, it doesn't feel like Washington's met the moment, and I say this, I'm not trying to play left, right politics, any of it. I think they're viewing it, I feel like they're all going through the same playbooks of right after 9/11 and right after the Great Recession, and they think we'll have this program and we'll have this industry and that. And I don't think they've just fully come to grips with just how thorough this economic downturn is. It isn't going to be just here and just there. We're talking about aid to states. You know, we haven't even brought up, this whole oil debacle.
Right.
You know very well how much of the state revenues are paid for by oil in Louisiana and Oklahoma and Texas. So we're sitting here having a debate about the blue states and their money that they need bailing out. Just wait till in about 3 months all these red states that use oil revenue to fund their programs realize, where is it? So I think we just haven't fully wrapped our arms around the financial cost of this pandemic.
You know, here in Atlanta today, the Atlanta Track Club has announced that the Peachtree Road Race, which is 60,000 people that run through the streets on the 4th of July, will be held on Thanksgiving. You've got Augusta and the Masters, which is coming up late in the fall as well. I think it's hard to conceptualize that these events will still be able to be held later in the fall, given what we know now about this virus and the fact that we are not any further along than where we were 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Not on the medical front. I mean, you know, without a reliable therapeutic, right? One that makes people feel as if it means if I get it and I take this therapeutic, I can survive, or a more reliable testing infrastructure, it does feel as if until there's a vaccine, I don't know how we normalize any of these events per se. So I think you have a lot of hopefulness out there. I think you have people hoping they can have the Masters when they have it, hoping that these, you know, assuming that the more time you buy, the more opportunity there is for a therapeutic to work.
Yeah. Chuck Todd, as always, thanks. We appreciate it. We will see you 10 a.m. right here on 11Alive on Sunday. Meet the Press. Thanks.
WellStar is now planning to restart some surgical or certain elective surgeries as early as next week. 11Alive's Elwin Lopez spoke to their chief surgical officer to find out how they're going to keep the patients and the staff safe during this pandemic.
After months of strictly doing urgent and emergency surgeries, Dr. Bill Mayfield says WellStar is ready to start performing elective, time-sensitive surgeries as early as next week. He says that includes things like an undiagnosed mass and symptomatic gallstones, among others, but only for patients who aren't vulnerable to COVID-19.
The population we're going to operate on in the next few weeks is the healthier population. We don't want them to be compromised should they get a COVID-19 in the community.
Dr. Mayfield says they will be testing these patients for the virus before operating, and the operations will be done at ambulatory surgery centers separate from the hospitals. And for those without those surgery centers, there will be a separate entrance to the hospital for non-COVID-19 patients.
We're using all the CDC guidelines, American Hospital Association guidelines, American College of Surgeon guidelines for, you know, PPE, personal protection, social distancing, hand washing, wiping down surfaces between patients.
Yet Dr. Mayfield says if we do see a second wave of coronavirus cases, WellStar is prepared to change course.
If there's another wave and we have a spike in resources and we need to redirect, we're prepared to respond very quickly.
Now, Chief Surgical Officer tells me that these time-sensitive elective procedures do not include non-urgent cosmetic surgery. Now, he says that if you're not sure whether you need surgery at this time, you can always consult with a doctor via video call.
Personal choices are choices that impact everyone in a pandemic. Today, state leaders are urging everyone to do things like wear a mask and keep a safe social distance. Both Governor Kemp and Georgia's Department of Public Health issued statements suggesting we all wear cloth coverings over our nose and mouth when we go out in public. Just a reminder, the CDC says masks should fit snugly, that is, with no gaps between your face and the mask. Don't touch the mask or your face. Take it off by the ear loops and wash it often. We've learned new habits over the last few weeks, wiping down the groceries and taking other precautions when you get home from your store run. How important is it? Jennifer Bellamy sorts it all out for us.
So we're breaking down guidance from the Food and Drug Administration, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the American Medical Association to help you make the safest choices for your family.
Shopping for groceries is considered an essential activity, and if you need to do it for yourself and can't rely on delivery or curbside pickups, it means you're at risk for potential exposure. By now, you know to wipe down your cart and clean your hands when you leave the store, but what about when you make it home? The Food and Drug Administration advises you wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds when you get home and again after you put away your items. The agency, along with the CDC, says right now there's no evidence that food packaging, or food containers have been linked to getting sick from COVID-19. But they do say it's possible for any virus, including coronavirus, to survive on surfaces or objects. Neither agency discourages or advocates cleaning your groceries when you get home, but the FDA says if you want, you can wipe down product packaging and allow it to air dry as an extra precaution. They also suggest shoppers wash and clean any reusable shopping bags before each use. Outside of the federal government, the Journal of the American Medical Association says the virus could remain infectious on surfaces or objects for 72 hours. But most viruses become inactive or non-infectious after the first 24 hours. This departs from the CDC and the FDA saying there is limited evidence that virus particles on products transmit disease. According to the journal, any virus on the surface of groceries will become inactivated over time once they're put away, and the inner contents of sealed containers aren't likely to be contaminated. But they do recommend throwing away disposable grocery bags after you get home.
So the information here is a bit different depending on the source, but the bottom line is if you want to take the extra step of wiping down your groceries when you get home, it can't hurt.
The virus is forcing numerous court cases to be suspended or postponed, but one county is making headlines because they are still summoning jurors. We'll tell you why next on Primetime.
We had a cool start today, but it warmed up nicely this afternoon. Now it's cooling down, but most of that cool air is going to continue moving to the north, and that's going to be replaced by warm air into the weekend. In fact, we're going to be back to the 80s here Saturday and then even warmer on Sunday. We'll break it down for you in the 7-day outlook.
Let's all make sure that when we look back, we don't just remember a scary crisis that we survived, but a challenge that we faced together.
Heading into the school year, Georgia Tech students did not expect to celebrate graduation this way, but they're making the most of it with a virtual celebration today for the class of 2020. Students had a chance to join in all day, and some even had a chance to speak. Traditional commencement ceremonies will be held later this year.
Safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers. The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it
Georgia's Supreme Court just issued an order suspending most court hearings and jury trials until mid-May because of the coronavirus. But one county is still sending out letters to potential jurors. Reveal investigator Andy Perotti explains why.
When public duty calls, Allison Sun says she's typically ready to serve.
First, because I get called for jury duty all the time.
But when she got this letter in the mail from DeKalb County summoning her as a potential grand juror next week in the middle of a pandemic, it stopped her in her tracks.
Having done jury duty before, I know the facility, and I feel like there isn't a way to safely social distance when you're sitting with all those people waiting for them to decide who they're going to pick.
She and her husband have multiple underlying health conditions, including a history of respiratory diseases.
So right off the bat, the minute you tell me there's a virus that involves respiratory issues, I have a concern.
The county's letter requests her appearance this Tuesday, even though the state Supreme Court suspended all juries about a month ago. So why did Sun and others get a letter? According to the court administrator, summons for the May-June grand jury term needed to be mailed for proper notification, and that individuals can call the night before to determine whether they're needed. Still, Sun is concerned.
I can't be expected to go into a venue where I have no idea what precautions they've taken.
DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston says when the court does resume grand juries, they'll be ready.
Anyone that has to be a part of our process, we are going to make sure that they are safe, the people around them are safe, and that the community is safe.
That includes providing jurors with face masks and possibly moving to a location to ensure 6-foot social distancing.
So what I would say is, first and foremost, the safety of the public and following the CDC guidelines is the #1 driver on what we're doing.
The state order suspending all juries in this state expires May 13th, but district attorneys tell me they anticipate it will be extended. Until then, no one will be serving on juries in Georgia, nor will the accused have their day in court.
A place normally reserved for tailgates and celebration is now a site for coronavirus testing after actor Sean Penn's organization CORE teamed up with the Arthur Blank Foundation.
The volunteers here in Atlanta are a really promising, exciting group of willful, motivated, smart people.
Anyone with symptoms or those in at-risk groups like the elderly can go get a free test at the Home Depot backyard. As more states move forward reopening their economies today, there are protests across the country and areas like that are still on lockdown. It comes amid hopeful news about medical advances that could assure a safe reopening long term. NBC's Alice Barr is in Washington with the latest.
Hope today for a breakthrough against the coronavirus. The FDA granting approval for emergency use of remdesivir, a drug that's shown promising results in the sickest patients.
We're humbled by this being an important first step for patients, for hospitalized patients. We want to make sure nothing gets in the way of these patients getting the medicine.
The drug company agreeing to donate 1 million vials to hospitals starting Monday. At the same time, President Trump honoring volunteers who've stepped forward to make a difference where they live.
It takes a community to serve the community.
It's a tribute to this country and the people of our country, what they've been able to do and the amount of lives that have been saved.
On this May Day, from the White House to the Golden Coast, protesters taking to the streets. Essential workers are calling for more protections.
If the nurses are not safe, then the patients are not safe and the community is not safe.
And while several states are reopening today, those still under lockdown are facing growing pushback. President Trump tweeting today the governor of Michigan should give a little and make a deal after armed protesters demonstrated in the state capitol yesterday. In her first formal briefing today, the new White House press secretary backing up the president.
The president says, that we must protest lawfully and act within the bounds of the law.
All while President Trump is again blaming China for not containing the virus from the start, threatening sanctions and contradicting his own intelligence community about how the outbreak started.
President Trump is heading to Camp David this weekend. It's his first trip away from the White House in more than a month, and he said he plans to be back on the road in Arizona next week.
We felt that cool air this morning, but then it warmed up pretty nicely this afternoon. Today's high was in the mid-70s compared to 63 that we had yesterday. And that warming trend is going to continue as we go through the rest of the weekend. And you can see that cooler air, even though we're feeling some right now, still with a bit of a northwest breeze. That northwest wind is going to relax, though, and the breeze will relax. The cool air moves away, and it's going to be replaced by this, the warm air that's moving in. So whereas today we were in the mid-70s, we're going to be in the low 80s tomorrow, and then moving up even more on Sunday into the mid-80s for a high. And you can see that warmer air. And then it's going to stick around with us for a while on Monday, also on Tuesday on the warm side. But you see the cooler air up to the north is trying to come back down. We're going to have a couple of showers in here on Tuesday with a quick moving system that'll move in. And as it moves out for the middle and end of the week, it opens the door for another surge of cool air. Not cold, but just cool, with lows in the lower 50s again by the end of the week and high temperatures that go back into the 70s. So I've been telling you guys about this because I know that when we have a weekend like this weekend in the 80s, a lot of people are like, okay, are we going to stay in the 80s forever? No, the cooler air, the 70s will come back as we head into the middle and end of next week. Here's today's high. Actually, this is the pollen count today, 122. Oak, hickory, mulberry, and sycamore are the main pollens present. Grass pollens are moderate. We don't have any real weed problem right now. And the mold is back up to the high range. And then here's what we're watching here with the trends. You know, Tuesday we were at 130. Wednesday down to 96, double digits on Thursday at only 35, and now backward to triple digits at 122, and that is classified as the high range. There's that high for today, 75 degrees, really nice, and our average high for this time of year is 76. That's why we went with an 11 on the Odometer today. We're right on target with where we should be, aside from the cool air that we had this morning, though. And here still is that surplus, more than 14 inches above where we should be in rainfall for the year. So we can afford to dry out this weekend. We were dry today. We'll be dry through the weekend. 67 right now, but outside the city, we have some cooler air. As those clouds, as we have clear skies, a lot of places are cooling off a lot faster, like Covington in the mid-50s, Carrollton in the mid-50s, LaGrange in the mid-50s, where we have more 60s here on the north side. During the day tomorrow, we will start off with those lower 50s, but I want you to see how it's going to warm up really quickly through the morning hours. If you sat outside from 7 in the morning till noon, you will have a big time temperature jump from those low 50s in the early morning, then to 60 at 9, 70 at 11, 75 at 1. So you'd see a huge temperature rise just in those few hours there. And then we top off in the lower 80s in the afternoon, and we're going to have a lot of sunshine. It's going to be a really, really nice day out there. So here's a look at your weather headlines. We'll see a beautiful weekend. It is warming up, but then we will have a few showers that will return as we head into next week. So a 10 on the Odometer tomorrow, high of 81 degrees with that mostly sunny sky. And through the rest of the period, it's going to be high pressure sitting on top of us. So we don't really see a lot of weather features here on the forecast track. We will see dry conditions in the morning, mostly sunny skies during the day. This is what I want you to see, though, that southerly flow. That's what is going to warm us up through the weekend. That high of 81 Saturday, 84 Sunday. We hold in the mid-80s Monday and Tuesday, but there you see that rain chance, only 20% Monday, and I really think that's more North Georgia. And then a 30% chance here on Tuesday, and then back to a 20% chance Wednesday. After that system moves out, we dry out Thursday and Friday, but that's when we cool back down into those lower 70s.
We've got to use our best judgment. Surround yourself with your family, and surround yourself with the people that you know and where they've been. And let's have a little bit of maturity. Let's just use our brains.
Well, as you know, college football coaches can't do what they normally do, have players on the field. They have to do it all virtually. So Georgia Tech head coach Jeff Collins says they're not telling players how to work out, but they're telling them how to stay safe.
We have guys, some of our guys on the team have weight rooms in their basement. Some have dumbbells, some have whatever. So we have so many different layers of workouts that our guys are doing based on their access to equipment. The NCAA just let us send out those resistance bands. So guys that don't have any weights at all, we were able to send them resistance bands, and we've got workouts formulated for them to excel.
All right, switching gears right now, Major League Soccer is allowing its training facilities to open up next Wednesday. That's May 6th. Players will be allowed to voluntarily return to use the outdoor fields and equipment. The teams must tell the league how they are keeping their players safe. Major League Soccer's season is currently suspended, and full team workouts are not allowed until May 15th. We'll be right back.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today. Who says you can't visit the aquarium during a pandemic? Let's go to Fulton County for a virtual field trip. 7-year-old Griffin and 12-year-old Tyler each had a private virtual encounter with Alex and Jupiter, 2 California sea lions. The boys got to learn about their favorite animals and see what it's like to be an animal trainer. They say they'll never forget this experience.
We're in unprecedented times, and to be able to do this and do this for people and make people smile and bring families together, it's amazing.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation made it possible for Griffin and Tyler to have this awesome experience.
And we're going to see a really nice day tomorrow. A cool start, highs near 81 degrees. And then as we go into Sunday, mid-80s Monday and Tuesday, with the rain chances coming up just a little bit. And then that clears out by the middle of the week. And we cool off by the end of next week too, with temperatures back into the mid-70s.
All right, looking forward to a beautiful weekend. And we're going to see you over on Up Late on 11Alive at 11. Have a great weekend, everybody. Primetime rolls on. Stick around.
Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information,
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Healthcare workers are risking more than just their physical health on the front lines. New at 10, how many are coping with their mental health?
And there is hope. Tonight we hear stories of survival from people who fought COVID-19 and won.
Plus, no need to take the driver's license test in Georgia if you're a teen. Why one driver instructor says that is a very big mistake. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Hollinger.
And I'm Aisha Howard. So glad you guys could join us tonight. We have a lot going on. But first, where is my stimulus check? People are really looking for that. It's one of the top financial questions we are receiving from our reviewers who are anxious and really looking, saying they need the money now.
And maybe the IRS will be able to track them down and settle up. John Chiric has been reporting on this story for us today about the stimulus check. We will be hearing from him coming up tonight on the news at 11 on Up Late. But we'll begin right now with John Chiric. Here goes.
Went out and got the mail this morning.
And she was surprised and then outraged.
It was a check made out to her.
Beth McGuire found in her mailbox in Kennesaw this stimulus check for $1,200.
Somehow that didn't seem quite right to me.
The stimulus check made out to a German citizen who had rented a room from McGuire while working in Kennesaw for 10 months. McGuire immediately called the woman who now lives in Munich, Ines Afawi. She moved back to Munich a year ago when her visa expired. Afawi tells me she's outraged that she got a stimulus check.
Because I'm pretty sure the money is needed elsewhere.
Even if it turns out she was eligible to receive one based on the U.S. taxes she paid.
People who actually need it should receive it.
According to Politico.com, the IRS mistakenly sent stimulus checks to thousands of foreign workers who are not eligible. An IRS spokesman would not comment, other than to tell me that the agency will come up with a way to straighten out the mix-ups and then post the info on its website. So Beth McGuire will know what to do with the stimulus check that the recipient doesn't want. McGuire knowing she can't cash it for someone else.
People in my neighborhood who could use just a little boost, that $1,200. It could be food on their table.
Trying to do what's right, to find the right home for this one check.
And out of all those thousands of stimulus checks mistakenly sent to non-U.S. citizens, not all will be like this woman from Germany and try to return it.
Correct. You know, as Jeff was just starting to say, maybe the IRS will be able to track them down and settle up with them, and it's going to be a tough task. Remember, the government was trying to rush these checks out to Americans who needed them right away, even though mistakes, the IRS said, would be made in that rush. But so far, keep in mind, nearly 99 million Americans have received stimulus checks so far, totaling some $160 billion.
All right, thanks, John. We're thankful for her honesty, and we hope that money money gets to people who actually need it.
And John, that point about the IRS, I learned that from you. That was the information that I had heard you talking about prior. We appreciate your story tonight. Empty parking lots and still shuttered stores. That's what many customers found at one of the few outlet stores that reopened today.
We were excited to come out here and do a little bit of shopping and whatnot, but there's only about 3 stores open.
It's still like a ghost town in there.
Was it worth the trip coming out?
No.
5 Simon properties, including Lenox Square and Town Center at Cobb, also were supposed to open their doors, but those plans, they were pushed back on Monday. And some retailers tell us that they are choosing to remain closed even longer. For a full list of reopening dates, you can check the 11Alive app. Health care workers on the front line are now giving so much to save others. Tonight, we're taking a close look at their mental health. Natisha Lance spoke with doctors to get their perspective on how to cope.
On my worst day, I literally sat on the back porch, listened to some music, and just had to cry out some emotions.
There's anxiety that we feel, there's depression that we feel.
The invisible war is taking a mental toll on healthcare workers.
You're seeing people who are confronted now with this bout of anxiety that they never experienced before. And then we also see the increase in depression rate.
Atlanta doctors Matthew McCall and Edward Espinoza step into COVID-19 hotspots every day. They carry a heavy responsibility, wanting to save every patient.
That's all you think about. You go home and you're like, did I do the right thing? Did I provide the right medicine?
There's a feeling of maybe some inadequacy as physicians, just because there's not a lot that we can do for patients when they become really sick with this illness.
To cope, Dr. McCall says he relies on his faith.
You know, I pray a lot, try to look for comfort from a spiritual standpoint, and my other outlet is exercise.
A study showed doctors and nurses in China treating COVID-19 patients reported depression, anxiety, insomnia, and distress. Many have called our frontline workers heroes, but experts say
so a lot of doctors appreciate the well wishes, but don't necessarily want to be labeled as a hero because it just makes it seem like we're invincible.
Experts encourage healthcare workers to talk to someone, and for people around them, don't assume that they're okay because they seem like it. Always check in.
The FDA has granted emergency approval for the use of the drug remdesivir as a coronavirus treatment. Emory University played a major role in clinical trials. It has been shown to cut down recovery time for COVID-19 patients, the first drug with such promise against the virus. The maker, Gilead Sciences, is ramping up production and has agreed to donate 1 million vials to hospitals starting Monday. Every story of recovery is a story of hope, and there are hundreds of thousands of them all around the world. According to Johns Hopkins, 100,000 people in the U.S. have recovered from COVID-19. Marisa Lazuzzi is one of them, and she got the virus after her aunt got sick and ended up in the ICU. She told 11Alive's Matt Pearl that she believes getting COVID-19 was part of her destiny.
I went and donated my plasma. We were an exact blood type match. Within about the next 11 days from her infusion on April 14th, she was able to come off the ventilator. They actually had some extra plasma from me and gave it to another patient in the same hospital. 9 days after the infusion, he was able to come off the ventilator too. I truly believe that maybe I got COVID-19 so I could save not only my aunt, but a stranger as well.
She says if she could tell others anything, it would be to hold on to hope, especially when it feels hardest.
New at 10, it just got a little bit easier to get your driver's license in Georgia if you are a parent and you have a teen who has been struggling trying to earn that license. All bets are off. Drivers are not required to take the traditional on-the-road driving test, all because of Governor Kemp's state of emergency. Ryan Kruger talked to a driving instructor who says that is a mistake.
Think back to when you were 16 and about to get your driver's license. Do you imagine you could do it without taking the test?
80% of teenage deaths are because of automobile accidents. And the leading reason for those deaths is user error.
Sarah Casto is a driving instructor at First Stop Georgia Driving Academy in McDonough. She started an online petition Friday afternoon to change the governor's executive order. The order allows teens to get their driver's license provided they've had a learner's permit for at least a year.
Just because your kid can drive and has been practicing and you're a responsible parent doesn't mean everyone else's parents are as responsible as you.
On the 11Alive Facebook page, there are mixed reviews. Kelly wrote, "As a parent, I wouldn't let my kids get their license by bypassing the test." Aaron, meanwhile, says it makes no difference, saying it's not as if the road test was valuable in predicting their ability to drive safely. Even Hollywood actor Chris Pratt, who has filmed several movies in Georgia, sounded off, saying the streets of Georgia are already dangerous enough.
All right, Ryan, I'm an expert on the subject, so let me throw this in. I have a kid who's going to turn 18 in September. He does not have his driver's license. It hasn't been a great passion in his life, but all of a sudden, guess what? He's got his driver's license. And that's a great concern, being able to maneuver a 4,100-pound SUV if you don't have any experience that you have been driving with an instructor. So I'll stop with my speech, and I'll turn the floor back over to you to give us more information. But I think I'm like a lot of parents out there. I worry about this driver's license easily ascertained by someone who hasn't earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the Department of Driver Services, they do point out that even though they don't have to take the road test, the students do have to take every other requirement. For instance, they still have to have that 40 hours of supervised driving with their parent or guardian. It's just that one particular road test that at this point in time they don't have to take.
Look, driving is the most important thing that you may ever do in your life in terms of trying to stay safe and in terms of how it impacts your life and the lives of others. It is something to take so very seriously. Thank you. It certainly is food for thought tonight for a lot of parents and a lot of people in our state. Ryan Kruger, thanks.
Gwinnett County School District is calling back just teachers for the last week of school, and it has some teachers upset. Teachers will return to schools on Monday, May 18th. They're expected to wrap up instruction, verify grades, and close out classrooms. Some teachers are upset because the district notice says if you can't come in due to health concerns or child care issues, you have to apply for leave under the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. But the district says individual principals will work with you on that. No pass or fail grades for college students in Georgia. Earlier this week, we told you students were petitioning for the pass-fail grading system this 2020 semester in response to the stress of the pandemic. The University System of Georgia announced it will keep letter grades to maintain consistency for students' eligibility for financial aid, scholarships, admissions to graduation schools, and professional licenses. Many colleges all across the country, including Ivy League institutions, allowed the pass-fail option during the pandemic.
Tomorrow, salute in the skies. It's going to be great. Georgia's healthcare workers are going to be receiving a tip of the cap from one of the most famous groups in the American military. The Navy's Blue Angels and the Air Force Thunderbirds will boom across Atlanta, and among them a Georgia pilot.
So for my team, the Thunderbirds, to fly over Atlanta, my hometown, to salute these heroes is an absolute honor, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Earlier this week, the pilots showed off their precision flying skills over New York City and other places in the Northeast. Now they're bringing their aerial shout out to Atlanta as part of Operation America Strong. The flyover is scheduled to begin at 1:35 tomorrow afternoon. We posted their route and the best ways to watch on 11alive.com. Nothing like it. If you've never seen them or heard them, you'll never forget it. You can hear more from Captain Nelson tonight on Up Late. Well, they've won the fight against COVID-19. Now they are inspiring and encouraging us all. We're sharing their stories of recovery coming up.
Cool this morning, warm this afternoon. Now it's cool again, but the warmer air is going to win out as the cool air moves out. Stay with us. We'll talk about those temperatures returning to the 80s for the weekend.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are.
Hundreds of thousands of people all around the world have survived COVID-19. The time they spent fighting the virus is a defining moment in their lives. Matt Pearl is sharing their stories tonight.
We represent people that have a story to tell. My name is David Jameson.
My name is Amanda Trejo.
Marissa Liuzzi.
Scott Schuback.
And I am a recovered COVID-19 patient.
I was a patient in an intensive care unit.
I've just recovered.
Out of the 12, there was about 8 of us that were affected.
I'm still having issues. I'm still having issues sleeping, still having issues with anxiety.
When I walk up the stairs from the parking lot to the entrance and I'm carrying a briefcase or some papers, I have to slow down. We've been just really trying to just stay away from everyone and only leaving the house to give plasma.
My aunt was positive for COVID-19 and was admitted to the ICU. I went and donated my plasma. Within about the next 11 days, she was able to come off the ventilator.
Everything that we can do to possibly help save a life is something that people need to start really looking into.
I truly believe that maybe I got COVID-19 so I could save not only my aunt, but a stranger as well.
This situation has taught me that we should never ever take anything for granted.
For whatever reason I'm here, it is upon me to become a better person. As a physician, a father, a husband, that is upon me to become better.
I think this is a trying time.
We have a happy ending, fortunately for us.
It would be a waste for a person to go through something and not inspire someone else who's going through the same thing.
All right, the weekend is upon us, and we are looking forward to seeing the Navy and the Air Force across Atlanta's skies tomorrow. Chris Holcomb joins us now with the forecast. Chris, we're going to be okay as far as the viewing goes tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. We're going to have great visibility, a beautiful blue sky, no big-time clouds or anything in the area, so it's going to be looking really nice. And you can see on radar, nothing going on here. And in the southeast, nothing's really going on either. We had a few little wraparound showers up in North Carolina today that are moving out. And now high pressure sitting on top of us. That sinking air going to keep us sunny through the day and very warm during the day tomorrow. So the flyover forecast looking great. Remember, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, they'll be flying over Atlanta. As we mentioned earlier, we have that flight path on our website, 11alive.com. It starts at 1:35. It ends at 2 o'clock. And look at this, plenty of blue skies to have the nice view of the jets as they're flying by. Just a little bit of a southwest wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Nothing major with that. Plenty of sunshine. At the time of the flyover, it's going to be around 77 degrees, but we actually warm up a little bit more later in the afternoon with highs getting back up into the lower 80s tomorrow. Right now, it's cool. We have 64 here in Atlanta, but outside the city, it's a lot cooler. Look at this, 53 in Carrollton, 55 in LaGrange, 56 in Peachtree City, 59 in Thomaston, Elsewhere, we have more 60s on the north side, except in far north Georgia. We have a few more of those 50s around. With the clear skies, some folks are cooling off faster than others, and we're going to continue to see these temperatures falling during the late night hours, moving down into the 50s by midnight, and then lower 50s here by tomorrow morning for that low temperature. In fact, I think we'll be around 53 to start in Atlanta, a little cooler outside the city. So it's going to be a cool start, but those temperatures are really going to jump very quickly through the morning hours to warm up, eventually getting up to 81 by the afternoon. No big time features coming in on the forecast track map. You can see here dry conditions tonight. I want you to excuse me, notice these winds here coming out of the south. That's what's going to help transport more warm air our way. Lower 80s here for tomorrow, and then that southerly flow continues into Sunday. We'll actually get into the mid 80s, but both days mostly sunny skies before we see a few more clouds that are going to move back into our area on Monday. You can see some of those clouds that are starting to move in. Monday afternoon, I have a low rain chance here in Atlanta, but there will be a little better chance for some showers up in far north Georgia. And then on Tuesday, another system kind of pushes down from the south, and that'll give us a better chance for showers on Tuesday. And not a washout, though. We're talking about a 30% chance for showers. And then on Wednesday, a lower rain chance as well, as we see more of a northwest flow, and that's going to cool us down for the middle and end of next week. So we have those temperatures in the lower 80s on Saturday, 84 on Sunday, mid 80s also Monday and Tuesday, but that's when those rain chances come back. 20% chance north on Monday, 30% chance here Tuesday, showers diminishing Wednesday with drier, cooler air coming in for Thursday and Friday. Here's a look at your weather wow moment. This is actually from North Carolina in Charlotte, where they had a lot of heavy rain, and you can see some of the rescue officials there standing by for some of those flooded areas. But now they are drying out as well after that rain that came through there recently. So here's a look. We would love for you to be a part of our weather wow moment. And a lot of times we get those here locally from our 11Alive Storm Tracker page. We'd love for you to be a part of that on Facebook. Just search 11Alive Storm Trackers. Ask to become a member. We'll let you in, and you can be a part of this exclusive local weather community.
A student at the top of her class won't get to hit the stage as valedictorian for graduation because of the pandemic. So her friends, family, and school found another way to celebrate her today. Biggest trials and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today. Students graduating high school this year won't have a chance to celebrate together in person. For those at the top of the class, they won't get that incredible public honor either. So Stockbridge High School came up with another way to celebrate its academic overachievers. Here's Caitlin Ross.
Madison Gordon didn't get to cross the stage as valedictorian, but the walk across her driveway was just as meaningful.
I just started crying. I was so happy. It feels really good to know that all the time I put into even get valedictorian really paid off in me actually obtaining the title now.
She knew she was in the running, but she didn't know until this moment when her principal, teachers, counselors, and family came to surprise her that she had earned the top spot.
Top academic student of Stockbridge High School.
She said it's been hard to be away from school and her friends, missing those last few weeks of togetherness.
It was pretty sad. It was really sad because I was sad about graduation, prom. I was worried if they would get canceled, and I was gonna miss senior moments that should last with me forever. But this really makes up a lot of it. Like, it really makes me proud and happy.
Even if it wasn't the traditional pomp and circumstance, it's a memory she will cherish forever.
I can't believe this is real. I was so overwhelmed with emotion.
And she worked hard to get here. To earn the top spot at Stockbridge High School, she carried a 4.5 GPA heading into graduation.
I just love that story.
Way to go. Me too, Jeff. I love that one. Good luck to Madison attending FAMU this fall.
Can I just say something real quick?
Please do.
It seems like every year we see people, at least in print, say that being the valedictorian is not a big deal. Let me tell you something. That's from people that are jealous, people that don't want to acknowledge your incredible effort, your ability, your talent to be the best. And
it's a huge deal.
Congratulations to her. I just think it's a wonderful accomplishment, and we all are hoping only the best for her straight ahead.
On that note, I am out of here for the weekend.
Can you tell I'm a parent?
You are.
I'm afraid so. Aisha, have a great weekend. Here's what's coming up on the Big 36. The virus is forcing court cases to be suspended or postponed, but one county is still summoning jurors. We will tell you why coming up next.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Georgia Supreme Court issued an order suspending most court hearing and jury trials until mid-May due to the coronavirus. But one county still sending letters summoning potential grand jurors. Reveal investigator Andy Parati explains why.
When public duty calls, Allison Sun says she's typically ready to serve.
First, because I get called for jury duty all the time.
But when she got this letter in the mail from DeKalb County summoning her as a potential grand juror next week in the middle of a pandemic, it stopped her in her tracks.
Having done jury duty before, I know the facility, and I feel like there isn't a way to safely social distance when you're sitting with all those people waiting for them to decide who they're going to pick.
She and her husband have multiple underlying health conditions, including a history of respiratory diseases.
So right off the bat, the minute you tell me there's a virus that involves respiratory issues, I have a concern.
The county's letter requests her appearance this Tuesday, even though the state Supreme Court suspended all juries about a month ago. So why did Sun and others get a letter? According to the court administrator, summons for the May-June grand jury term needed to be mailed for proper notification, and that individuals can call the night before to determine whether they're needed. Still, Sun is concerned.
I can't be expected to go into a venue where I have no idea what precautions they've taken.
DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston says when the court does resume grand juries, they'll be ready.
Anyone that has to be a part of our process, we are going to make sure that they are safe, the people around them are safe, and that the community is safe.
That includes providing jurors with face masks and possibly moving to a location to ensure 6-foot social distancing.
So what I would say is, first and foremost, the safety of the public and following the CDC guidelines is the #1 driver on what we're doing.
The state order suspending all juries in the state expires May 13th, but district attorneys tell me they anticipate it will be extended. Until then, no one will be serving on juries in Georgia, nor will the accused have their day in court.
Right now, thousands of Georgians who have survived coronavirus have antibodies that could be the key to understanding the virus. Chief Investigator Brendan Keefe explains how antibody testing could save lives.
What are antibodies, and why would we want to test for them in a large portion of the population? Antibodies are like the building blocks of your immune system, and each one represents a disease to which you've been exposed at some point in your lifetime. That seasonal flu strain from a couple of years ago? Well, your immune system responded by creating just the right antibody to connect with that virus almost like a lock and key, and then made millions of copies of that antibody, destroying the virus, making you feel better, but those antibodies remained in your system. The novel coronavirus is different. Novel simply means new. There isn't a single person on the planet who already had antibodies to this virus last year. And what that means is none of us had the antibodies in the library of our immune system to fight this new virus. That means the body would have to create its own new antibody to see exactly which one would fit with the coronavirus and destroy it. And then once it does, the body makes millions of copies of those antibodies. By testing the blood for the presence of the antibodies, we can tell not only how many people have been infected with the virus, including in the past, but also who may already have immune systems primed to fight reinfection.
Fever, one of the main symptoms of COVID-19, and an accurate temperature reading is important. The problem is there are dozens of thermometers and a lot of different ways to use them. We had a Verify team look into the best practices to get the best results. Here is Jason Puckett.
Search online and there are lots of thermometers you can buy. So which is best and how can you get the most accurate results? To find out, we asked Nisa Ernst. She's the nurse manager in endoscopy and biocontainment at Johns Hopkins Hospital.
We have found is that the temporal thermometers actually work the best.
Temporal thermometers are a newer type that you place against your forehead to get a reading. It's that fast too.
Yeah, it's that fast. And then you're simply wiping it down with an alcohol wipe and you can take the next employee that's coming in.
So they're quick, easily cleaned, and Ernst says they're by far the most accurate. But they are more expensive and not as easy to find. So what about infrared or digital thermometers? They're all over online and in stores. Is that better than nothing?
Absolutely, no question. And everybody should have a thermometer like this at home.
Ernst says most modern thermometers are pretty accurate, but the infrared and digital ones are more likely to be affected by outside factors like the temperature of the room or sunlight. Still, any thermometer works as long as you test at the right time.
Go out and get a basic thermometer and take your basic temperature before you're febrile.
The CDC says for most, a fever is temperatures above 100.4 degrees, but some people run hot or cold. So if you test before you have a fever, you can compare that number when you are feeling sick. Even if you're above or below the average, you'll know if the temperature is high for you. So now you've got a thermometer. Where should you test on your body? Ernst says rectal tests are the most accurate, but most people won't do that. Next would be an oral test, and she said ear thermometers are often off by a few degrees. So bottom line, Ernst highly recommended temporal thermometers, especially for businesses that are looking for a quick and sanitary way to test employees coming back to the office. But she also said any thermometer is better than none. The key is testing before you're feeling sick so you know if your temperature is higher than normal. Oh, and last thing, if you have a glass thermometer,
and the simple message is glass thermometer, get rid of it.
If you've got more questions, send us an email.
So listen, I got a tweet earlier tonight from someone who said, make sure after you talk about this piece that people don't just throw away glass thermometers. They have mercury in them. They need to be disposed in a hazardous waste collection facility because mercury is so toxic to all living creatures. So it is an excellent point. Don't just throw out those old glass thermometers. All right, we've learned new habits over the last few weeks, wiping down the groceries and taking other precautions. When you get home from the store run, how important is it? It goes back and forth. We hear all kinds of information on this. Here's Jennifer Bellamy sorting through the info from several sources to get an answer for you.
Shopping for groceries is considered an essential activity, and if you need to do it for yourself and can't rely on delivery or curbside pickups, it means you're at risk for potential exposure. By now, you know to wipe down your cart and clean your hands when you leave the store, but what about when you make it home? The Food and Drug Administration advises you wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds when you get home and again after you put away your items. The agency, along with the CDC, says right now there's no evidence that food packaging, or food containers have been linked to getting sick from COVID-19. But they do say it's possible for any virus, including coronavirus, to survive on surfaces or objects. Neither agency discourages or advocates cleaning your groceries when you get home, but the FDA says if you want, you can wipe down product packaging and allow it to air dry as an extra precaution. They also suggest shoppers wash and clean any reusable shopping bags before each use. Outside of the federal government, the Journal of the American Medical Association says the virus could remain infectious on surfaces or objects for 72 hours. But most viruses become inactive or non-infectious after the first 24 hours. This departs from the CDC and the FDA saying there is limited evidence that virus particles on products transmit disease. According to the journal, any virus on the surface of groceries will become inactivated over time once they're put away, and the inner contents of sealed containers aren't likely to be contaminated. But they do recommend throwing away disposable grocery bags after you get home.
An important new deadline for those waiting for their stimulus money. Next, what VA and Social Security benefit recipients need to know.
The purple and blue colors on this map indicate the very dry air in place. Yeah, we've got it right now. Stay with us. We'll let you know how long that's going to stick with us and when we'll see more moisture returning, and if that means an increase in our rain chances.
Coming up, different rules in different states are making it tough on college coaches. How are they keeping their players healthy and in shape? You'll find out next in sports.
Spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Joined right now by the moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd is with us. Chuck, it seems as though every Friday when we talk, the pandemic takes on a different sort of lilt. When it first began, it was purely medical and scientific, But as we now sit on the first day of May, it is incredibly polarized politically, and every definition of the pandemic, at least that comes through the filter of what we do, seemingly, is through politics.
You're right, and I do think we're getting to that space for a little while, but I'll be honest with you, I do think both the virus and the impact the virus has had in the economy is going to sort of shove these sort of political debates aside, even though we're having them right now. I mean, I think we haven't fully appreciated the economic calamity that is to come. I think we're still sort of unpacking that. And I think as that grows, I mean, you're right, like we've gone from the health crisis to now it's sort of a political debate of how to reopen and how to balance this. But I think we're about a month away from a much bigger, which will also take on obviously huge political overtones, but it will be a larger fight about how to rescue this economy.
Do you think
because Washington? I think I truly believe that people haven't put their arms around about what's coming in the months ahead.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you think Washington has come to grips with what we are looking at financially? It seems as though we still talk in rather roundabout ways about how the economy will be impacted by all of this.
Jeff, I have to tell you, it feels like everybody, and we've said this before, it doesn't feel like Washington's met the moment, and I say this, I'm not trying to play left, right politics, any of it. I think they're viewing it, I feel like they're all going through the same playbooks of right after 9/11 and right after the Great Recession, and they think we'll have this program, and we'll have this industry and that, and I don't think they've just fully come to grips with just how thorough this economic downturn is. It isn't going to be just here and just there. We're talking about aid to states. You know, we haven't even brought up, this whole oil debacle.
Right.
You know very well how much of the state revenues are paid for by oil in Louisiana and Oklahoma and Texas. So we're sitting here having a debate about the blue states and their money that they need bailing out. Just wait till in about 3 months all these red states that use oil revenue to fund their programs realize, well, where is it? So I think we just haven't fully wrapped our arms around the financial cost of this pandemic.
Here in Atlanta today, the Atlanta Track Club has announced that the Peachtree Road Race, which is 60,000 people that run through the streets on the 4th of July, will be held on Thanksgiving. You've got Augusta and the Masters, which is coming up late in the fall as well. I think it's hard to conceptualize that these events will still be able to be held later in the fall, given what we know now about this virus and the fact that we are not any further along than where we were 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Not on the medical front. I mean, without a reliable therapeutic, right? One that makes people feel as if it means if I get it and I take this therapeutic, I can survive, or a more reliable testing infrastructure. It does feel as if until there's a vaccine, I don't know how we normalize any of these events per se. So I think you have a lot of hopefulness out there. I think you have people hoping they can have the Masters when they have it, hoping that these, assuming that the more time you buy, the more opportunity there is for a therapeutic to work.
Yeah. Chuck Todd, as always, thanks. We appreciate it. We will see you 10 a.m. right here on 11Alive on Sunday. Meet the Press. Thanks. Nearly 90 million Americans have now received their stimulus checks, with more coming each week, according to the Treasury Department. But just how far will that money go? People who make $75,000 or less a year are getting $1,200. Married couples earning $150,000 or less will get $2,400, with an additional $500 for each child under 17. Here in Atlanta, that $1,200 won't cover the average price of 1 month's rent, which is nearly $1,500. And while the amount of money that people make has gone up over the past 10 years, it hasn't gone up as much as our expenses.
We've been talking about the dry air in place, and that's indicated here on this map by the purple and blue colors that you see, showing the very dry air, and it's going to stay with us as we go through the weekend too. That's going to be a nice thing for us. You can see through Sunday even, dry air in place. We're not expecting any rain at all for the weekend. Once we get into Monday though, notice a little bit of moisture building in along with this next system. Now, We don't think that we're going to see much in the form of rain on Monday here, maybe a little better chance up in North Georgia. It's going to be on Tuesday when we see a little better fetch of moisture over us right here. That'll give us about a 30% chance for some showers. And then after that moves out, the rain chance goes down on Wednesday. We dry out again for the end of the week. We see that purple color and blue color coming back, but it's also going to be cooler once we get to the end of next week as well. Pollen count today, back to triple digits. That's after we were in the 30s yesterday. Main pollens present are oak, hickory, mulberry, and sycamore. Grasses are moderate. Weeds, no issues with weed pollen right now. And the mold is back up to the high range right now too. And then I want you to see here what we're watching with the trend that we've been dealing with. On Tuesday, it was 130. We went down to the double digits Wednesday and then went down to the 30s here on Thursday. And then today we're back to 122. That had to do with the rain that came through the area. And now that we're drying out and cool air keeps us in the lower 100s. So I do think that we're way past the peak for the pollen season, a lot better than those pollens that we've had, pollen counts in the thousands. But now that's all past us now, that worst of it. We still have to deal with some of those pollens still present. 75 was our high today. Should be around 76 for this time of year. So we were really just 1 degree away from being right on target in the afternoon. Now this morning was cooler than average though. 48 was our low. We should be around 56 for this time of year. And we always say this every night when we look at this, the surplus still huge. More than 14 inches above where we should be in rainfall for the year. I want you to see what happens with these temperatures tomorrow. Now, we're going to start in the lower 50s around 7 in the morning, 7 to 8 in the morning. But by 9, we'll be up to 60. Another 10-degree jump at 11 o'clock up to 70, and then 75 at 1, still rising up into the lower 80s for highs tomorrow. We will see a lot of sunshine. Going to be a really nice day, and then even warmer on Sunday. Mid-80s, and then we hold in the mid-80s on Monday and Tuesday, but that's when we see that little bit of moisture come back. 20% chance for a shower Monday, 30% chance Tuesday, back to 20% Wednesday, and then by Thursday and Friday we're drying out. But we do cool off again with our high temperatures trending back into the lower 70s.
College football coaches are having to handle their players a little bit differently right now. While Georgia is opening back up, not all states are, and that impacts what college coaches can do during this virtual offseason. Alex Glaze caught up with Georgia Tech head coach Jeff Collins to find out how the Jackets are handling the offseason.
We see leagues are starting to kind of roll out plans. How do you see that working out in the fall for you guys?
Yeah, so I'm a planner, and I try to control what I can control. And until I'm told this is what we're doing and when we're doing it, all we have right now are contingency plans. So whenever we get the green light, we're ready to go. But there's no point in worrying about it or complaining about it. The biggest thing is in this day and age is, listen and be responsible. Whatever the scientific, professionals, health professionals tell us, the health and safety of all of our employees, student athletes, obviously has to be paramount in any and all of these decisions. But I'm itching just like you, and I'm just, I have my plans ready. So when we get the green light, we're ready to roll.
How do you manage that green light? Because like right now in Georgia, you can go to the gym and work out. If the past couple of months, guys haven't been able to work out and they've been working out in the fields or doing whatever they can. Are you telling your guys they can go to the gym? Or are you letting them do whatever they want? Or are you telling them not to go to the gym? How are you guys dealing with that?
So it's a great question. We have so many layers of guys on our team that are from different states, right? They don't have the similar access. Our trainers and our medical staff constantly keep us updated on the latest CDC guidelines.
So if we're just like right here in Georgia, are you letting guys make their own decisions when it comes to going to the gym?
Yeah, and there's some guys that have private gyms here locally, and we just keep feeding them the guidelines and the suggested protocol because at the end of the day, we want them to be safe, we want them to be healthy.
And by now you've heard from the Atlanta Track Club, the HAC Peachtree Road Race has been postponed to Thanksgiving Day because of the coronavirus outbreak. 45,000 people already registered for this year's race. They are automatically in. There will be another round of registration in the fall. If you're not comfortable around crowds, there will be a virtual option too, and you will get the coveted t-shirt. It was a decision the track club did not take lightly.
The idea, the concept of changing the date, it was foreign to us. It was something we had never considered. So it's something that weighed heavily on us. Thanksgiving is another holiday. It's another day where community comes together, and we have a hope that it is a time when Atlanta can come together.
Let's hope things settle down by the time we get to Thanksgiving. Major League Soccer is allowing its training facilities to open up next Wednesday, May 6th. Players will be allowed to voluntarily return to use the outdoor fields. Teams must tell the league how they are keeping players safe. Major League Soccer season currently suspended. Full team workouts are not allowed until the middle of May, May 15th. That is it for sports. We'll take a break.
Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The weekend is upon us, and it's going to be a great one. We're going to see dry weather conditions. We'll have cool mornings, but really warm afternoons. Look at these temperatures, how they move up through the weekend. We'll be in the lower 80s here for a high tomorrow, mid 80s on Sunday. We hold in the mid 80s on Monday and Tuesday. And notice, though, that moisture content comes back a little bit. Not a huge rain chance. We're talking about a 20% chance for just a few isolated showers Monday, and I really think that most of that is going to be in far north Georgia. Then Tuesday, 30% chance for showers here, still in the mid-80s, and then the rain chance goes down on Wednesday with decreasing clouds. And look how the temperatures cool back down. We'll see lows moving back down into the lower 50s Thursday and Friday, afternoon highs into the lower 70s. So I hope you enjoy this beautiful weekend and nice warm weekend too.
On my Facebook page, Jeff Hellinger, 11Alive, I've got the map of the flight path of the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. If you want to check it out, try to get yourself organized so you can see that tomorrow with your kids. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy it, and we will see you back here on the Big 36 on Monday.
Certainty. Some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today. How did this happen? A surprise stimulus check for thousands of foreigners. Now on Up Late, hear from a woman who wants to give it back. Atlanta flyover, the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds plan a tribute over Georgia. When and where, you can see the show tomorrow. Scars from the front line, medical workers overwhelmed by the pandemic. New tonight, what doctors and nurses are doing.